Today is April 8th, 2017. This morning, about 3 a.m., I finally got my taxes done. So I'm greatly rejoicing. I just hope they get accepted and I have no issues. But I had one person on Facebook asked me to show him my onions, I think, being planted. So today, that's what I'm hoping to get done here this afternoon, and this is going to be a short video on that. I just wanted to show you something I thought was kind of clever, and it's actually that. And what am I showing you? These are some old hiking boots. Now, if you're somebody who does a little bit and goes inside and does a little bit, you'll like this thought. You see, I took the shoelaces off of my hiking boots, and I use them like a slipper for the garden. And I have found this so useful in terms of going in and out of the house, in which I do a lot of. And if you have some old hiking boots that you can see it's wore out there, that you might have been throwing away. I used to kind of keep the shoestrings and try and tie them and stuff, but that was so frustrating, and I was always tripping over the shoestrings. And I'm not sure why. I thought, hey, I should just take off those shoestrings. Anyway, so there's that thought. Now, here's the onions. You can see these white onions. Now, these have been on here at least a month. As you can see, I just pressed them into some dirt in this pan. And here's some, I think these are also white onions, actually. Yeah, they're called white wax. So these seeds I started on February 14th, it says there. So that's been, what is that? 6 weeks, 7 weeks now. So I'm going to plant, well, we'll see how much of this I plant out. That's a lot. But these red and yellow, that's a yellow onion. So this was a mixture of the little onions that you can buy. I think I bought a pound, and I think that's most of them. And look at what I wanted to show you is this. This, I'm pretty sure, is oregano. And I planted some in the front and in the back, and this is coming back with a vengeance in both places. So I don't really want oregano there, I don't think. I'm probably going to move that. And I'm not sure what this is. If you guys know, I mean, what is that? It almost looks like, I think it might be celery. How did that? Well, I know I didn't harvest any celery last year. So I have at least 2 of these showing up. Well, 3. Now, just for a second here, you see this dandelion. I'm going to dig this up, but I wanted to let you know that dandelion roots are supposed to be very healthy for you. So when I dig this up, I'll wash the root, and actually I'll put it in my hot tea and drink the tea, and I actually eat the root afterwards, because it's boiling hot water. Look at those potatoes coming up. So I'm not sure what I'll do here. I'll plant something next to it, but I might just let this be for a bit and have this as potatoes. Now, last fall I collected my leaves, and once I start getting my garden in, I'll spread leaves on top of things and around. It's a very good fertilizer. So here, a couple of dandelions. So I'll dig those up. But look, I've got some onions that have overwintered, and I'm glad to see that they're doing as well as they are. And this looks to be celery, which I'm kind of surprised at. So I'm gonna, since it looks like it's good and it tastes good, and if you guys know what it is, and if it's not celery, let me know. You see what that looks like? But it tastes like celery. I'm just surprised. And you can see this is a bit of a mess, but I'll work this over. And again, both in the front yard and the backyard, my oregano came back that I planted and are kind of taking over. It looks to me like mint, but it's not. It's oregano. Of course, these are some carrots that somehow survived the winter. I'll probably put the oregano in this. This is supposed to be an herb bed, and this is where that oregano should have come up and be taken over. It's just an old wheelbarrow that I lined with some garden cloth, the water goes through, but there was a hole in the bottom, and so this is now a big pot. That's the idea. I'm not sure. Now this is supposed to be mint, but look, it's not doing very good. Yeah, that is, but it's not near the healthy as I want it. Today is April 9th, 2017. I'm still on my onion project. I came out yesterday and started working the ground a little bit, and I found all of these tree roots had come up into my bed here. So as I was turning this bed over, I found all kinds of tree roots, and you can see some there. And I've noticed that in these other beds I had tree roots. Of course, I have a big tree there and a big tree there. I'm talking about big. Whoa. So the roots have come up in the bed, even though this is a raised bed, and all this dirt I brought in. So what I'm going to do is dig this all out, and then I've got some boxes. I'm going to line the bottom of my bed with cardboard, and the idea is to keep the roots from coming back up into the bed, at least for a time. And so that's the and also I'll work over the dirt. Most action in soil happens in the top 6 inches of dirt, and that's how come you don't plant your seeds too deep, normally within a ½ inch of the top. So I'm gonna dig this out, Lord willing, and then I'm going to put these boxes in the bottom, line it, and I brought my little swimming pool. I'm going to fill that up with dirt, and then I'll throw dirt, I guess, onto the side, and then we'll see what happens. So that's the project now. Okay, bye-bye for now. So I've been working on this some, and I've dug down, it looks like about 8 inches. I filled up my wheelbarrow and all the buckets that were empty that I had around. So I don't want to fill up a big trash can because that'll be difficult to handle. You can see some of the roots, maybe. You see some of those roots there? I kind of cut them with the shovel a bit. So And my ruler. So that's 8 inches there. And that's about 11 inches down at that deep spot. So 8 to 11 inches. Probably more like, yeah, about 8 inches. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up and flatten it. And I'll show you. And then I'm going to put boxes down, and then I'm going to put about 2 inches of leaves on the boxes, and then I'm going to fill it in again. And any organic matter I have in the house, I'm going to spread on top of the leaves. And I'm hoping the boxes will kind of prevent some of the roots from coming through. Okay, bye-bye. So we've gotten to the place where I'm putting down cardboard, and I also put down just a little bit of newspaper, well, all the newspaper I had, for some of the holes in the cardboard up on the edges. Here, take a look here. So this corner down here was the worst of all the roots coming in, so I took an extra liking to it. So I'm putting down cardboard, and what I'll do next is I will put leaves on top of this cardboard, and then I'll start putting back in the dirt. Okay, and when I put in the dirt, I'll add some 1313 fertilizer, because, well, just because, and then I'll be ready to plant. Okay, the planting of these onions have been quite a little more effort than I thought they might be, but I'm happy with the redoing of this one bed. Now, I've gone in and out today, and I just got back from a tea break, and I learned to like hot tea when I was actually in the Peace Corps in Kenya some years ago. So, and also when you watch all those British gardening videos, you just seem to want to have a cup of tea as you garden. So here we go. So the bed's now prepared, and I'm going to, I've got some 13 pellets I'm going to throw on for fertilizer, just to give it some more nutrients after all of the you know, the roots and things taking up most of a lot. Here we are. That's what I'm looking for. It says total nitrogen 13%, available phosphate 13%, and potassium 13%, and then sulfur 11%. Okay, so I'm gonna plant things about I think probably 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches apart, and I'm just going to get going on that. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, finally got this bed planted. As you can see, some of them already had started, and and these are some old onions from last year that I actually had inside the house. And then I did plant a few little ones. Now the main thing about planting the little ones is that you need to get their roots covered, and then they'll pop up. They'll pop up. Okay, that's what it looks like. But I got so many onions still to plant, so I'll do another bed or two. But they'll be in the small onions from the seed. Okay, today is April 11th, 2017, and I just planted some squash in the middle of this little bed, and now I'm going to demonstrate how I plant the onions that come from seed after they're popped up. I'm just going to encircle this bed with a row of onions. As you can see, we just make a little trench. Now this whole bed I dug out and put cardboard on the bottom and some leaves, and then I replaced it, so it was a bit of work. So these onions I planted, and as you can see, they came up from seeds, and you just separate them. They're not too hard, you just break them apart gently. Now, the key when you're planting these, is that you just lay them down. You put the roots at the bottom, and you lay the onion down like that. About, I don't know, 2 to 3 inches apart. They're so small. Right now, so I don't plant them too far apart. And so I'm going to do this all the way down through here, and you just lay them on the ground like that. You see, you don't have to make little holes, and then you just take the dirt and you cover them like that, and that's it. They're planted. So you don't worry about them popping up there. They will pop back up on their own. Okay? So I don't want to show you the whole row. That'll just take too long. But that's what I'm going to do all along here. And then I'll come back and I'll water these. In a couple of days, they'll be up straight. Okay? A couple of these little onions I planted yesterday. And look, you see how they're starting to pop up? So I just wanted you to see that. And those are some older onions. So this was the first bed I dug out and redone. So this is full of onions. And this bed, now these haven't really started to pop up except maybe a couple. But I dug these out and replanted these little seed onions, or the onions from seed. And we'll see how this goes. I'll keep my eye on it. Okay, bye-bye.